Welcome back. Time for Media Watch here on Live from Paris. James Creedon in the studio with me for that. And James, we're going to be talking first about political campaigns. Barack Obama, known for being quite down with the kids, rallying young voters through Facebook, Twitter. He always pioneered.
5 billion Twitter followers, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Mitt Romney trailing behind on Twitter. But did Barack Obama get an idea for a campaign from the rather less hip François Hollande?
Well, that's what some in the French media have been sort of concluding. Let's take a look at this video. This has been recently circulated online. You might recognise her from the series Girls. I actually don't myself, but anyway, I'm told Lena Dunham is her name, and she's an actress in the US
We're
series
too busy
Girls.
watching the news, James.
Absolutely, serious stuff. We don't watch these series. Now, she is apparently talking about her first time. Now, whatever that could be about, I don't really know. But let's take a look and we shall find out together.
Your first time shouldn't be with just anybody. You want to do it with a great guy. A guy who cares whether you get health insurance, and specifically whether you get birth control. The consequences are huge. You want to do it with a guy who brought the troops out of Iraq. My first time voting was amazing. It was this line in the sand. Before I was a girl, now I was a woman. I went to the polling station, I pulled back the curtain, I voted for Barack Obama.
So there you go. We started out thinking it was one thing and then it was something else. It was voting for Barack Obama.
Cheeky.
So, cheeky indeed, right? So
yeah, I mean, could that have been inspired by François Hollande? I'm not
first
sure.
of all, you would
I
think
remember
not
that.
really, because he's not the most charismatic of politicians, and you wouldn't think he'd be kind of playful with these sort of ideas.
Changement c'est maintenant.
That's right.
Weird movement.
He had this weird hand movement in one campaign video. But let's take a look at a series of pictures. I think we have some of them already that we can kind of show you. And indeed, his son actually features in this. François Hollande's son features in the video. And basically, it's campaigners for his presidential campaign running up until March last year, who participated in a similar themed video. And I think we have his son coming up just shortly, just to give you, that's Thomas Hollande, that's his son. So look out for him in this particular clip.
My first time.
My first time.
My first time.
Oula.
Wait, I have to think. It's been so long. It happened near the Vincennes Woods, right by the metro.
It was reassuring. She showed me how to do it.
I just did it. It was my first time door-to-door campaigning.
Okay, that is pretty similar, I have to say.
But racier. Actually, the French video was a lot racier. I cut out the really racy bits, right?
They like a bit of ooh la la.
That's it. So you never forget your first time door-to-door campaigning, because it's so bloody boring and everyone tells you to go away, right? So there you go. And actually, this is, I suppose, the point we're getting to. Ségolène Royal, Thomas Hollande's mother. It's all very...
And François Hollande's former partner.
Now, she went for the presidency in 2007. When Obama was elected in 2009, she headed over to Washington, D.C. for the swearing in. And she said, you know what? Obama, his whole campaign was inspired by moi, right? Let's take a look online at some of the articles from the time. Obama s'est inspiré de Ségolène Royal. He was inspired by Ségolène Royal. Now, she did have a very, I suppose... It was a very good campaign, the one that she fought in 2007, reaching out to young people. Here she is appearing on stage, looking very youthful, looking very sort of dynamic. And her website, Désir d'Avenir, which is still up and running, actually. It still works. Unfortunately, there's a thing there blocking what says Désir d'Avenir. She says that Obama's website was very strongly influenced by that in terms of its interaction, etc., etc. Now, afterwards, she was mocked about this. They were like, well, the difference is he won, you didn't, Ségolène. So
that's harsh.
And she said, look, actually, I was only joking. I'm not really saying he was totally inspired by me, but...
But it wouldn't be entirely surprising if people did take inspiration from other campaigns, would it? There aren't that many new ideas in the world.
That's right. In particular, France has a very presidential kind of system, so does the US, so it would make sense that each would look to the other for ideas in terms of campaigning.
Okay, well, let's face it, politicians say the same things over and over anyway, so
that's
we would not say to be surprised.
It's a limited range of ideas.
Let's talk about somebody who keeps saying the same things over and over again, and they're not necessarily pleasing things to a lot of people. This is Jean-François Copé, who's hoping to take over the leadership of Nicolas Sarkozy's party, the UMP.
That's right. Now, if you go back to the start of the month, there was what was known, or what we translated as in France 24 as Pastrygate. Let's get a look at this headline on...
Much more serious, I have to say, than it sounds.
That's right. Now, basically what happened here, this is a headline in The Guardian. French right-wing hijacks the pain au chocolat. Now, what could this be about, right? Here was some of the, I suppose, mock-ups of that you found online. He reacted, Jean-Francois Copé, to an alleged incident, where a school kid had a pain au chocolat, that pastry that you get in French breakfast, ripped out of his hands by thugs because you don't eat during Ramadan. Right. Now, if that did happen, it was a sort of a schoolyard thing where somebody robbed somebody's food and maybe it was Ramadan. Now, he made this big issue out of it, clearly to score political points at a time when he's trying to take the leadership of the right-wing UMP party. Many said this is a bid to get far-right, people who are tempted to vote far-right interested in his campaign. He was vastly criticised for it, and you had all sorts of things like that online with the kind of an ET pain au chocolat, which I do quite enjoy. Now, what happened today? It's Eid, which is a Muslim religious holiday. And let's roll these pictures, because outside the Paris city mosque in the Latin Quarter, you had people giving out croissants. Right, now croissants are, similar to pain au chocolat, crescent shaped, and of course the crescent is a sort of a Muslim symbol. So they were called the Copé croissants, right? Wow. And they would be handed out, and it was a way for, I suppose, some in the Muslim community to poke fun at Jean-Francois Copé and what was seen as quite a stigmatizing anecdote that he recounted back at the start of the month. So there you go.
Reclaiming the pastry. That's quite nice. I like that. Thank you very much, James Creedon, here with Media Watch. Okay, we're going to take a little break now, but do stay tuned. Coming up, we've got web news for you.